episode 17 of Inside Zed Run. Special co-host tonight of ZedInsights, and on tonight's episode we have DarthSide as well as BotLady, two huge content creators outside of just the Zed world. So very happy to have you both here. How are all three of you doing tonight?
Doing great. Appreciate getting to be here.
Awesome.
Thanks for inviting me. It's my pleasure to be here. I can't wait to talk.
Awesome.
Doing pretty good, man. This should be a fun one. I'm happy to fill in for Golden.
Happy to have you here. For those of you that don't know ZedInsights, Golden and I also do a show every other Monday night, talking about news within Zed. So I want to kick things off tonight. I mean, both of you have, in my opinion, a sizable presence outside of Zed, as well as within Zed itself. So DarthSide, kind of starting with you, and we'll throw some links in chat, but you want to talk about some of your other kind of projects and things that you have going on outside of just Zed?
Well, yeah, so that kind of is how I discovered Zed. I was asked to do an art project for a nonprofit using artificial intelligence and neural networks to generate images from human inputs. And so I was given a small bag to explore the NFT world with, and stumbled across Zed Run and jumped in on Zed Run and got myself some Genesis and some other horrible horses and learned, and that kind of brought me to what I ended up creating was DarthSide Supercoats, with the focus on the slate gray version of the part of the color breeding algorithm.
So what, for those of you that maybe are watching aren't too familiar, what about that algorithm? Why slate gray specifically?
Well, so when you look at the algorithm and you look at the percentage formulas for the offspring, and it's in the white paper, Steps Tables has that beautiful calculator that'll let you look at them. But it says that the likelihood of where you're going to land with your offspring will be a certain number of boxes over or down from where you start. And if you look at how that breaks down and you look at the numbers of the rarity populations, the percentage of where you're starting from on that chart, if you start at gray or stronghold ivory, is that you're going to end up with a rare or super rare offspring. In all my breedings I've done since I got into Zed and started doing slate gray breedings, I've never bred something that had less than a 1% coat color because of that algorithm and where slate gray and stronghold ivory fit in on that. So that was what I realized. Okay, I had an opportunity here to at least corner a little niche in the algorithm system. I was just focused on breeding and not racing at all. And literally, okay, if I don't successfully get a super coat out of this breeding between my two slate gray pair, then I'll at least get a rare or super rare coat color. And therefore my offspring will be more valuable than the common UUU.
A true artist with the colors.
Yeah, that's super interesting.
Speaking of artists, you also are involved with a art NFT project. We'll talk about that quickly for a second. Project. Yeah, we'll throw that in chat here. I'll throw it in at the end as well.
There's only 20 left out of the initial 100 release. I burned. There were 5 series of 20 in them. One was a Novus Earth series. These are all generated by the artificial intelligence, and then I include a video that takes a bunch of different frames, the different iterations the AI goes through to create that imagery. Now, I don't just sit there and say, hey, make me a picture, and it makes me, a picture in 2 seconds. I spend time training the AI and calibrating in different tensors to exactly create where all of them have the same look and feel, but they're all unique interpretations the AI has of what I've input through text or random numbers.
They're beautiful, like by the way.
Thank you. I can't wait for you guys to see what I have in store with version 2. Anybody that owns a Van Goatee original will get a Van Goatee version 2, and there are a couple of people that have actually gotten 6, and that's the magic number for getting to have a full cube when the version 2s come out. But I don't see many people being able to achieve 6 since nobody really is selling them. I think there's only 2 aftermarket for sale that are like 4 and 4.5 times the original drop price. Nobody else is even listing, so it's going to be hard to get in 6 like the couple that already have. But the version 2s will have collectability and tradability, where people are trying to collect enough to create a full cube of the Van Goatees and then burn the individual frames to get a full Van Goatee version 2. And there's a gallery for Decentraland coming.
Nice.
And then, of course, the reason why I started all this, as I mentioned at the beginning, is for the Human Anatomy Project. The Van Goatee 10,000 piece collection will be completely donated to the Human Anatomy Project for them to be giving as rewards to their donors. And so there's no Discord group or information out yet, because this is all pre the big event and big fundraising project. But I wanted to get some experience under my belt and might as well reward my followers with some early access before the big event comes out, that maybe these end up becoming like an early Banksy kind of thing.
I love
so
it. That's awesome. I love the long-term vision that you have for it. So shifting gears over to BotLady, you have quite the following on Twitch. And you seem like you've got a lot going on. You've got some really fun games, it looks like you have, that you play. You also have quite a sizable Zed Run stable. So for those of you that maybe aren't as familiar with BotLady and all the amazing things that she does, how'd you get into streaming? And how did that evolve into Zed?
Oh my. So poker really was how I found Twitch, and now it's 6 years ago we're talking.
Wow.
So I started out, I found, I was really big into poker. I lived in Vegas, so been playing poker 15 years. I started as a dealer, actually, and I just have always been really into gambling, math, and it's so cool. AR, hello, VR, all that stuff really interests me. The algorithm, I don't even know. I just want to say, I didn't even know about that algorithm. I don't even know what you're talking about, the coats and all that. So that's way over my head. So I'm really interested now. We got to talk later about that. But so that kind of led me down the path of just being really, I'm interested in risk. So I've always been really interested in taking more risks and learning about educating myself. But as a poker player, this has always been my philosophy. I sit down at the table and I don't play a hand for the first round. I wait and see what the other people are like, what they're doing. Are they aggressive? Are they passive? Are they drunk? Are they on their cell phone? Are they paying attention? Who am I going to try to involve myself with? Who am I going to avoid? And so I kind of approach all situations like that. So when it came to streaming, I was actually running a card trading bot for Magic the Gathering at the time, and I was doing really well with it. It was called LadyBot. So my name actually came from the bot. BotLady was my support email for the bot. So I was drafting. I was pregnant with my daughter, and I was drafting. I was a really profitable drafter. So I got this bot, and I was selling all my extra cards on it, making money doing that. And then I realized I'm not gonna be able to go out and play poker anymore, right? I've got to figure out what can I do from home. And I did play poker online as well, but it wasn't as profitable at that time as live poker was. Post Black Friday, so if you don't know what that is, a ton of the big websites that we used to play poker on, like Full Tilt, got banned. Just one day, all the money was gone.
That's right.
And that did affect me and a lot of other players. So, hey, I see everybody in here. I see Mango Ice says, thanks for helping the accountant. And your gifted sub. Oh, for sure, man. Thanks for being in here to support. Okay, so for real though. Okay, let's get back to this. So what was I saying? Remind me.
Talking about Black Friday.
Yeah, so Black
how
Friday
everything
was
got
like a
shut down.
huge stain on like the online world. So, you know, I'm now I'm a new mother. I have to find like I was winning tournaments live. I was winning like investing. I'm an early Bitcoin investor. So, like, you know, I was like, I got to figure out like how do I transition my career? Like I was a teacher, I have a biology degree. I can't work a 9 to 5. I've got to like work from home. I've got to work at night. So for the last 9 years of my life, I have just taught myself things like I want to learn about this, I want to learn about that. So I just take an approach of like a scientist, you know, I look at it from a macro and a micro level. I look at the economy. Coming from bot trading on Magic, the economy on OpenSea is almost identical. And I was also a World of Warcraft player. And the economy there, I used to do pet battling. And I was like, I would buy all the pets of like one kind and just like keep them and then like raise the price. So I'm like, this OpenSea thing, like I'm ready. I know what's going on. So I sit every day and I look at the Haku and I'm like, talk to other players, like, what are you doing? Shout out to one of my best friends is Boomer. He's found me some really good deals. We're always chatting and like he keeps my mood up, I keep his mood up, and we're really good friends. So I'm always looking to like make new friends, learn information and share information and help people too, because like I feel like I can't do it by myself. I don't know everything like about that algorithm or whatever, you know, it doesn't matter. Just, I don't know everything. So I need people that want to help me and I want to help you. Like, so I share information freely, openly. I'm not like, I don't sell anything like, information, you know, I just put out tons of content, try to help people, try to have fun. And then like, I just feel like good karma comes around, you know, you be a good person and you follow through and you be committed. And like, you know, I've done it for years. So I've been streaming full time 2.5 years. When I started, I was like, I cannot do this alone. I've watched, you know, I've been a mod for 3 years for a really big streamer and I cannot do this alone. So I applied to join the ACR Stormer poker team and I got it. So I've been on that team since then. And now I'm like a beta tester for their slots. It's really fun. Come to the stream on Fridays, noon to 3 Eastern, and Saturday nights we do poker and slots. But that's like my main thing. That's like my main job. And then Zed is my hobby. So I've taken like some of my coin and put it in the stable. So I'm pretty conservative actually. I try to buy off the floor. I didn't start in at buying Genesises because I thought they were overpriced and I was right. I just started buying them like this month and I got a ton I have like 16 now that I got like such a good deal on. And I was really picky on the stats and like buying them for long term. I kind of approached it backwards because when I got into Zed, everyone was like, you have to have a Genesis or no one will respect your stable. But I'm like, I got to respect my bankroll. Coming from a poker player background, like if you don't have liquidity, if you can't breed your horse, like if the market goes down, you can't hold your asset. So I've been investing for years. So I took it from like a business standpoint, you know, how do I look at this from a business standpoint? And so I've taken it on like a hobby, but it's also become a really big part of the stream. And I want to start making more consistent content. I just can't carve out time right now. I have 3 small children. Our twins are 4. They just started school. So we've got to like still do a lot around the house before I can add a 3rd day of streaming. But eventually next year, guys, January, I'm probably going to add a day just for Zed where I come and like talk about the stable. I can talk forever, just so you know. So
I love it. I love it.
It might be a good like fit, right? You know, just Zed and BotLady. Yeah. So thank you for having me. I appreciate being here. I love talking, obviously. Hi, chat. Hi, everybody.
So what within kind of just shifting focus more to be solely on Zed, like who or what has influenced both of you getting into Zed? Or is there anyone like that you look up to or like has really impacted? I mean, you mentioned
besides you.
Thank you.
No, I mean, seriously.
Go ahead.
For me, that's what really made this accessible. If I didn't have the tools that are put out, like I'm so thankful that Dan Shan stepped in and is going to take up the mantle for Stack Nax and keep it a free tool for us to be able to use. Your tool, MJ Informatics, and Haku, and Know Your Horses. If it wasn't for those tools existing, I would not have entered this space. I'm a data guy, similar to BotLady with a large poker background. that says, yeah, I need info. I need to be able to do this. I need tools that are going to let me filter through the noise and see where these pieces to actually get in are.
Yeah,
So
on a note on that, it reminds me of World of Warcraft, where there was like, I used to have 30 add-ons when I would raid, you know, so
yeah, Curse. Oh my God, I wouldn't
yeah,
have played without Curse.
exactly. So for me, it's like all the nerds are in this game. It's like the same people probably that are making tools, and I love it. I love the community for Zed. Like, it's kind of giving me a renaissance feel for the games of the last 20 years I've played, and you know, a lot of the same people are probably like rediscovering their love for gaming through this space. Zed is specifically, I think it's special for Twitch because it's beautiful. And the one thing that I think about when I'm streaming is the user experience, the other end. Like, what are they seeing? What are they feeling? Are they excited? Is the content good? And the horses are beautiful. The 3D, the races, the way they look in 3D. I have never seen a game that looks like this. So I think for Twitch, it's like a good marriage because the user end experience is so exciting and it's quick. People love that it's like the race is like a couple minutes, you know, it's like a fix and then you just do another one, and it's just, we bet on them and it can get really fun. So I love it for Twitch specifically.
I love that. I feel like it fits right in your wheelhouse, and I think that was a big draw for me and a lot of people. It's a combination of things. You got a little bit of gambling, you got a little bit of sport, you've got some excitement, you've got so many like different facets of it: the breeding, the racing, the colors.
And we all get attached to the ones we name, and I think that's a big deal. Like, people don't want to sell, and the more you hold, the higher things go. So that's a psychological thing that's super smart.
That was actually the other part of my stable that I specifically focused on was naming, was the unique naming aspect. If you look at my stable, the ones that I've named, other than Darth Vader, which was bought for me by my wife, all these Darth Talon and Darth Malik and Darth Nile and Darth Sidious, these are all, I don't care if the horse can race at all. These are, in my opinion, valued just for the name of owning these iconic names. Whether that's Curry, whether, you know, it doesn't matter. Just, to me, that was another value add that you could isolate out a niche for yourself, whether that was grabbing the cast of Friends and naming your horses after the cast of your favorite TV show or movie or something like that. There was that another layer in there you could create value.
I'm curious you're right. Have either of you guys started to like transition into like racing, or is that a goal at all to like race seriously? Because it sounds like, you know, you DarthSide getting in from more like the Supercoat and the breeding aspect, and you BotLady coming in from like the market analysis side on OpenSea. Is it a space you want to stay in there, or is racing still where you eventually want to transition to? How do you think about that?
I want someone to race for me. Like, I have 270 horses, and like, I look at Axie. I have a friend that is one of the top Axie players in the world. His name is Randcorp. You guys may know him. But we're really good friends, and I see what he's doing, and I'm like, we could be that. We just don't have this. We haven't scaled quite yet to what the potential is. So the vision for me is having like 10 stable hands. They get paid a percentage of whatever they make on racing the horses. I don't know that I could personally race 300 horses a day. I have to pick, you know, a couple that like I think have potential. I race the other ones a few times just to try to see like some stats on them. I think racing adds value to your stable. You should race your horses, but overall, I do not have the actual physical time to do it. A part of it is I have anxiety because when I try to get a gate, like sometimes my horse gets bugged out for an hour and like I get really stressed out, and I have anxiety anyway. So I have this like racing anxiety actually I've developed a little bit. So I'm trying to like, okay, so I'm like scaling back that aspect of it, picking a few that are good. And I hope they change the way that you can play, because it would be so cool. Like the WoW dungeons used to be where you could just like queue into what you want and then go and like not be so like stressed out. And then the other thing is bum hunting is not discussed, but this is actually a thing that it's in poker where people will try to sit down with a player that isn't good and take their money. Well, the same thing's happening in the races. Some of the best players wait to the last second to enter. It's trying to take the bag. So if it was randomized where you couldn't see who you're in the race with, it was just completely random, it would be a lot more fair for the new players.
Yeah. It's a tricky one, that, isn't it? Because you want it to remain a game of skill in some regards, but at the same time, there's that real balance.
In poker, we really have to protect the players from the other players. That's the number one thing, So if the Zed isn't aware of that, or even like thinking about it, there will be some players take advantage of other players, and it's just human nature. It's like, I'm not blaming anyone for doing it. I'm not mad at you guys, but I hope Zed does something about it,
Part of my stream is showing people, look, if you're not using these tools that I'm showing you how I use them on my stream, you're not playing the same game I am.
Right. And so
if I'm using Stack Max to enter a race, and I'm showing you, look, I know there's 3 people downclassing in this race. I know that there's
so many people that don't have the education. Yeah. So where do you go if you're a new player? Like, how do you get into the game without it's so for me, I just feel that the game would be more accessible and we would grow faster if we did something about that.
Yeah, I've heard actually that poker has a similar issue. Maybe you can touch on that these poker sites are often wrestling with the balance of, pros versus newcomers to the game, right? And eventually, if you leave a poker site running long enough, like usually all the money will eventually funnel to the pro players and the new players will leave. And I do think that Zed will face those same issues.
So Bitcoin, because most poker players bought Bitcoin when it was really low and they all have a lot, it really hasn't affected the poker economy. That's why a lot of the Bitcoin is in the poker economy, in their wallets. And I don't know what else to say about that. I don't know how the Zed people run. Poker is a good place to be right now. There's it's flowing. We haven't had that issue. It's only growing. We had a $10 million tournament, $1 million Sunday every week. 2 years ago, you wouldn't have seen that. Bitcoin has literally made that happen for the poker economy. You're seeing a trickle down with all of the things. And then I am in another group that's into VCs. 90% of the VC money right now has nowhere to park. They're parking it in NFTs. That should alarm you that these Genesises are very undervalued. Again, do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor, but I look at signals, and the signal is that people with deep pockets, 35% of the wealth in the country has nowhere to go, and NFTs are hot, and the big celebrities are all making projects. So look for the doxed communities and get involved if you can afford to hold for a long time. Liquidity is a thing. A lot of new investors do not realize you need to hold for a long time. So they buy in and then have to sell at a loss. Now, a loss isn't a bad thing if you're a business, but if you're an individual, again, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research. I'm just a streamer talking out my ass. But this is my personal experience, okay? So I'm trying to be helpful here with you guys. I don't want to get myself in trouble giving you guys advice, but this is my personal experience. Yeah.
I love it. That's a whole side of Zed that I feel like isn't really talked about.
Discussed,
or just NFTs in general.
I have friends that I've advised and said, look, I don't care if you plan on playing this, but if you have Ethereum, you should be sitting it in here. And so I have one buddy that just today I'm helping him. I'm like, make sure you got your breeds are up. You need to get in there and breed. He doesn't race. He's not doing anything. I made him buy some Genesis horses and get in there. And once a month, go ahead and breed these things.
You don't have to race them because racing is obviously it's the min-max, right? It's the hardest part of the game. You really got to spend time to be profitable. That's not a bad thing.
We'll get super lucky.
Yeah, like Leroy Jenkins over here. Just killers.
Darth Talon is my number one horse. I bought her UUU. I will give Zed complete credit. You can buy a UUU horse and end up getting a winner. She's a top 1% by her stats horse. And I overpaid. She was my first Finny slate gray female. She was a legendary slate gray female. And she now has funded the rest of my stable actions for the most part. So I do give it credit. You can do that in this game. You don't have to own a Genesis. Yeah, for this tournament is geared towards a Z1 through a Z4 probably winning this tournament. But to be profitable in Zed, you don't have to have that Genesis horse. But if your investment, again, not financial advice, but if you're thinking of it in a long-term investment, then you have three options. You've got Genesis males. Well, as the population grows, in my opinion, Genesis males will be more valuable than Genesis females, even though they're a half to a third of the price of the females right now, just because of the mechanics that they've designed into the system. You can't get more Genesis males. You can make more exclusive females. The math just doesn't add up to females being more valuable than males in the breeding math. The second is unbred. So you lock up a genetic line of a Genesis horse. And then, of course, the ultimate is the unboxed item, which is the unraced, unbred Genesis. Those are your investment looking ones, in my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor, but just based on the economy and the math in the white paper, that's, to me, that other side of it.
We're still so early.
Yeah, so early. So how you mentioned Darth Talon was your favorite horse. It's got a great name, great coat, and it performs very well. BotLady, do you have a favorite horse? And then I have a follow-up for both of you relating to what we were just talking about.
I think Leroy is my favorite horse, but I also have a horse named BotLady that actually ended up being really good because I was like, you know, I'm naming this horse after me. Like, can you please not suck? And she's actually really good. She's blue, and she's like my second best horse.
She's
so
beautiful.
Got to give her a shout out.
Awesome. I
got
love
lucky.
it. So then what does winning in Zed mean to you? Is it profitable racing? Is it breeding? Is it creating a coat farm of rare and super coats? Like, what does success look like for both of you in Zed?
Go ahead.
I want to create fun content where people can come and talk about and learn the game. And, you know, I feel like I've always been really into like getting new players into poker. So I'm really into getting new players into Zed, you know, making it more accessible, like maybe doing some NFT tutorials about how to use MetaMask, how to use OpenSea, some pitfalls to avoid, and just making it like easier, because I think a lot of people, once they get that part, it'll just flow. That's literally the hardest part to getting into the game. For me, I want to be a part of the tournaments, not because I think my horses are the best, but if I don't try to beat the best, how will I ever like be the best? So I'm entering in tournaments that I don't even know if I can win or not, but how do I know if I don't try? So I'm like, you know, in poker, you have to beat everyone. You have to beat everyone to win the tournament. When I sit down at the table, I want all your chips, every single one of you. It is not personal. I just want to win. So I look at the racing the same way. Like, I want to breed a horse that can beat any other horse. Maybe not every day, but in some races enough that the ROI is positive, we could maybe win some bigger tournaments. I'd like to breed eventually. There's a Zed Poker Discord. Invite me, Toxin. I would like to breed eventually some winners, you know, so I could beat the bigger stables. Like, I don't know if that's ever possible, but that's like my end game goal. Like, will I get there? I don't know. In the meantime, I'm going to breed as many Supercoats as I can.
I love that you're both into Supercoats.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah,
so I guess DarthSide, what does that mean for you? Then I want to circle back to Supercoats.
I can tell you.
Yeah,
I
I'm going
like
to lead with Supercoats for that discussion there, is because Supercoats are slept on. I mean, again, I talk about read the white paper. When I did my AMA breakdown, I talk about language and look at the language that's used by the people that are building the ecosystem, and what things I thought were near on the horizon, what things I thought were further down on the horizon. And again, if you read the AMA, Supercoats are never mentioned. So I don't think that there's a plan anywhere in the near future for anything major related to Supercoats. Skins, yes. Supercoats, no. But if you get into the white paper, you can see that Supercoats are the end-all and be-all of the breeding, the color breeding. So it's important to the devs. which means it will have long-term value in the game. And so just like Genesis have gone through cycles of interest and lack of interest, Supercoats are as well. And I'm just enjoying collecting mine. I only have 4. I've sold a couple of them. But, some people have 10 times as many as I do. Bot lady.
So,
but
I blame
but,
Jack.
so again, it's all about, to me, it's all about reading these things, finding niches that I think I can make profit in there. But what I consider winning in Zed Run, my Twitter handle is @MixedRealityMan. I've been in the XR space since 2011. For me, it's about being able to eventually sit and watch from the stadium seats as my horses are racing, and getting to go down into the winner's circle with my horse and look up at, you know, 1,000 Zed people that just watched this race from the stands cheering a race. You know, that to me, that's the end game of this experience, is that oasis environment. And so whether that's a VR headset or a mixed reality headset like Magic Leap or things like that, I know it's coming and I'm going to be there.
I got an Oculus, and it's not quite the same thing as being there, but you can do like virtual screens. So it's like I'm watching my Zed race on IMAX, like in front of me, and it is just like a very like.
Wait till you get a
overwhelming
mixed
in the best
reality
possible way.
headset.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, where you're seeing the real world, but you have digital elements that are, you know, your horse is running around your living room with you. They've got the AR app for Android that lets you bring your horses into the real world. You've got your cat on your head. Yeah, you know, you've got all these AR things, and when we start having these nice pass-through displays, which you know, I've lectured on this specific stuff. I use these tools for medical education. That's my specific specialty. The things that are coming for us are going to make these things unbelievable.
It's the future's going to be crazy. Going to be crazy.
Yeah,
and
and
Atari's
especially
going to push it all. I mean, if that's
for
my
sure.
other thing. If you guys are not paying attention to what Atari's doing, Atari is in every one of the major metaverses. Atari is opening their own metaverse. Atari has their own token, ATRI. You can stake liquidity pool in ATRI. ATRI is accepted in Decentraland.
Hey, send me a link to that liquidity pool, would you? I want to look at that later.
Yeah.
I think
Thanks.
actually, like looking back, some of the Atari skin Genesis horses were like criminally underpriced.
Oh,
You know?
Unbelievable. I mean,
yeah.
I wanted Pong so bad because I'm old
Yeah.
enough that I grew up, my first
I
console.
played it too. Oh God.
Yeah,
no. Don't show our age.
I've played on the Commodore 64.
Oh my
you know,
God.
So
but
what are you both kind of struggling with in Zed right now?
Can we go back to Supercoats first?
Yeah, please, absolutely. Go for
Okay.
it. Go for it.
Then we can talk about struggle.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So I used to play Magic the Gathering. For you guys that can relate, they had foil cards. And they were so pretty, like so much prettier than the regular cards, and worth a lot more, not just a little bit, a lot. So for me, I look at the Supercoats, I look at a year from now, I'm still going to be playing. I'm going to have 1,000 Supercoats bred, and I'm hoarding them. You guys, I'm hoarding them. Listen to me. You're going to have to come to me in a year and ask for one, because they're going to be pooping rainbows. That's what I think. You're all going to want one. And they're going to take the value from whatever they are right now to like potentially 100 times. Heard it here first. Not financial advice. Do your own research.
And
that's
again,
my
look at
personal
what
thought process.
Look at what Supercoat does in the breeding algorithm. I mean, MJ, do you want to pull up the breeding algorithm on the white paper? I mean, because Supercoats add percentage points to the outcome of your offspring. Genesis,
I haven't heard this.
Genesis
Have you heard
had
this
points.
insight?
Supercoat
No, I
can
haven't
add
had this.
points. And then the outcome of your offspring. So even if you're breeding at bottom barrel on the rarity chart, with a super coat from the slate gray
Mm-hmm.
or the stronghold ivory. I can't speak for stronghold ivory because I don't breed them, but slate gray, you get up here. You
So
know,
I've heard
I think the males with
super.
super coats, I'm going to say it now, the males with super coats will be getting covered more.
Yeah.
I mean,
in the future.
I think that's true, but I always assumed that it was just cosmetic. I haven't heard that one. I've only heard the Miss Supercoat theory. MJ.
Can you link the throw it in our private chat? This I can't find the white paper for the life of me.
Supercoats are so undervalued right now. You can get one off the floor for like what, $50? Like, come on.
I've got to admit, I completely ignore Supercoats even to this day. Like, I don't even. I'm
I get
completely
excited when I
colorblind
see
it comes
them.
to Zed horses.
But I put other criteria first.
See, I think that eventually they're going to look different on the track. And so people are going to want them because it stands out. And of course, you know, the look of the game is why a lot of us are attracted to it in the first place.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not saying it's a smart thing that I'm doing. It's
just, Well, I'm obsessed with trying to breed them. So chrome yellow, you guys, is going to be my stable color. His is slate gray, mine is chrome yellow. Although we did breed an amethyst supercoat this week, which I'm super excited about. It's a legendary male. And yes.
Bravo.
I don't know how many there even are. Do you, DarthSide? I don't
know
where to find that.
I'm always asking Zed Run stats for color dumps.
I need to know.
Yeah. It'll be coming to a State of Zed in more depth.
Yeah, so I've heard.
The chrome yellow color, for some reason, I just keep getting these males. I have one named Instant Karma. He's an original horse, and so like one of the earliest, you know, drops. And so I bought 3 chrome yellow females to go with him. So every month I'm going to be trying for 3 legendaries, and then on top of it, I have a Zabo and Finny breeding pairs for the chrome yellow. So we're going to be trying supers in all of them. And I'm going to I love the color itself. It looks like sunshine. So I didn't plan it like he did with the algorithm. I just kept getting really well-priced, good horses in that color. So I decided to just go for that color. It fell in my lap, basically, the chrome yellow color.
I'm kind of curious as to like what you're doing currently with OpenSea in the marketplace. You talk about how you had this background in Magic the Gathering card trading, and it sounds like you've done some in World of Warcraft. But what kind of angle are you looking for in OpenSea right now?
That's
you just
kind
always
of
have 100 Warcraft tabs open.
That's kind of you know, Boomer and I do a lot of strategizing. He knows my secrets. I don't tell anybody else anything.
Oh no!
If you want to get with me, get in my DMs. I might be able to drop a few nuggets in your.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that part of it, I think, is, you know, that's the secret sauce.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. There seems to be, especially now, there seems to be like a ton of opportunity on OpenSea.
Yeah, I kind of keep some information like that close to me because, you know, I try to make relationships with people and do private deals, and I don't want to just out all of my friends, you know, like go look at my stable, look at who I'm trading with, like maybe try to do some research and figure it out yourself.
I think legendary is extremely undervalued right now as well. When we get to the point where the Genesis horses are not being bred as promiscuously as they are right now because the fees change, because I firmly believe that they're going to just jack the hell out of the Genesis breeding prices. And they need to if you want to create value. Because right now, why would I breed with a legendary male when I can get an exclusive for, you know, $20 more? Or I get a Genesis for $20 more.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
There's no incentive right now for the downbreeding away from Genesis. So the fix for that is to jack the price of Genesis breeds. And they will eventually jack the Nox way the heck up there for the Genesis, I believe, as well. So if you want to, I mean, when you mirror the real world of horse breeding, which they're trying to do, how much is it to get Secretariat's blood?
Right.
How much will it be to get Breathless Edge's blood? You know, they're going to be making it back in their breeding costs. And so that fee will get jacked up so Zed can get a good chunk of that fee.
So for me, I like the Buttes because I look at it like easier to get into for a new player. So like a Naka, oh my god, I can't afford one. It's like the cost of my whole stable. So I would rather have 500 horses than one. I just see the value in being able to breed them and race them, and so for me, I think it's for the way I want to play the game. I would rather have more horses, and so I like the Butte Genesis because they're also limited print run, but I think they're easier for resale value. You could probably liquidate them a lot easier than you could a higher Z level horse.
I like your choice of words there. Limited print run. Going back to like card serialization.
Can't take the gamer out of the girl.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Now, I have a quick question for BotLady. So, what was your primary character?
Well, I mean, I played World of Warcraft for more than 1 year, so
right. I'm sure you had a gazillion characters, but what was your character?
I mean, the one that was actually named BotLady was a monk, and I played all the classes. I tanked, I healed, I DPS while healing, but my favorite character was actually named Vanna, after Vanna White, and she was a discipline priest. And I rated mythic level with this, and we were one of the best guilds in the world. And I had the second highest APS. If you guys don't know what that means, it's actions per second. And I was like on all the charts. Now I actually got carpal tunnel from clicking too much, so I had to quit. I couldn't play anymore. A little slower going on OpenSea, and clicking. Poker is a lot slower. You don't have to
Shadow
click as
Priest
fast.
for me.
Yeah, I like discipline because I like if you gear it up high enough, like you can actually do a ton of damage while you're healing.
Yeah, I ran solo all the time. I wasn't very much into raiding and dungeons. I loved just running by myself and getting zen inside the world. So Shadow Priest, I could run by myself forever.
Now I realize what a complete waste of time all that was, and I wish I had been doing something else with it. So
not a waste of time.
I got
Zed Run.
out
Totally
of
not a waste of
chapters
time.
around 100, so I at least didn't go too far.
Should we zag back to your struggles question, MJ? I thought that was pretty good. What's the what are the areas right now where you guys are sort of looking to improve, maybe?
And that could be to be within your like own stable personal experience, or where you think maybe the platform is maybe missing out, or you could answer both.
Go ahead again.
I've done beta testing for games for years, and we're really early, and I think they're in an incredible position for being early. I've seen growing pains in more than one game. I think they're handling it really well. They're getting better in all aspects, listening to us, communicating, bigger events. Their partnerships are great. The long-term vision is amazing. I don't have anything negative to say. It's actually one of the best launches I've ever seen.
I love it. I love it.
I think the people that complaining just haven't been gaming long enough.
Is there anything like, is stable management an issue with you? Anything you're struggling with like internally within your own stable or your own like experience?
I'm trying to figure it out if I need to make an LLC or not, but that's like my only question for the rest of the year. I don't actually know. I've filed as a business for the last 2 years as a streamer, and I'm learning about like how Zed and all that works into it, which is really interesting, and I've learned a lot. I still don't know if I need to be an LLC or not. So by the end of the year, I have to figure that out. If anyone knows anything about that, please get with me. But that's my only real question. I have 270 horses. I have a spreadsheet I'm putting them in from Zombie. Shout out to Zombie. If you want a copy of that, it's amazing. But I've been trying to fill it out, and it's like I'm halfway done. Like, it is a lot of work to sit and manually enter each horse in. There's no way to copy all their like numbers from anywhere and just paste it in there. That would make my life really easy. And I keep forgetting which ones I put in and which ones I didn't. So I have to like Control F and figure out like, is this horse in the spreadsheet already? I'm like trying to figure out what distances are good at, because like my whole goal is just not to fuck up their stats. Like, I just don't want to fuck them up. So, I have so many horses. I have to like keep track of all this data. So my hardest thing right now, my challenge is just managing it all, like with that many. But because I plan on being in the game so long, I'm not in no hurry to do so. And I'm in no hurry to sell anything. So I'm just taking my time with it.
Love it. Love it. DarthSide, what about you?
So I'd say we've kind of documented some of my struggles that I've had with the game of the hack that I went through. and now 11 of those horses that were involved in that being completely frozen to where I can't sell or transfer them, and only having 18 horses total, 11's a big hit to take to liquidity. But the majority of them I did name myself and wouldn't have sold anyways. They're all Darth horses, and so I'm running with the Darth side, running on the Darth side with all my horses now, and just dealing with that.
How did it
That was my
happen?
number one. What's that?
How did the hack happen?
So yeah, I don't mind going over that to educate other people. Very, very early on when I got into NFT space to check out for the nonprofit, I was helped by some people in OpenSea Discord, and I believe that that's when my account became compromised. But I didn't have anything in there yet for them to really go after. They came back a few months later, and I had some stuff that had offers on it. They started accepting the offers. I happened to be awake at the time. I happened to be watching my phone and saw my Jockey Club Classic token, tourney token, get sold. I knew I hadn't listed that, so that immediately alerted me. By the time I could get OpenSea open, Looper, my Slate Gray Genesis, was sold to the bot that had offered 0.202 or something, kind of bot offer on the damn thing. I don't remember what it was, but terrible offer. And then by the time I was able to get the security, I think my account has been compromised on OpenSea button mashed. Electric Viking, another Genesis male, had been sold, and Darth Malik had been sold. Now, the people that had put the offers in weren't the hack. The hack was selling them to the bots and then taking the money and just shipping the money out. When I locked it down, they then dipped with all my currencies, all my altcoins, everything. Left me with $100 in Ethereum because that was too small for them to mess with. Thanks to the Umbria network, I was able to transfer that $100 over and keep racing Darth Talon and have built back up some. But I believe the hack came in from there. But OpenSea customer support is not communicative. When I explained the situation to OpenSea, rather than fixing my horses that I couldn't transfer in and out of my account and couldn't be bid on, they tagged them for suspicious activity, and so now they're frozen to my account as possibly stolen. And the horses that did get out of my account are now being freely traded. So that's probably my biggest struggle that I've had.
That's huge.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
But I did communicate with Zed. Zed has communicated back with me. Zed can't fix my problem. It is an OpenSea problem. I don't think Zed will ever have its own marketplace, which would solve this, because I believe it'll violate some KYC issues, some know your customer issues, that they have to have that barrier between them and the owners of the horses. And so I don't think they'll ever be able to fix my horses now. Whether OpenSea ever will or not, I don't know. So eventually I may have to sell the entire wallet to be able to sell my horses. But Disney's probably the only one with bags big enough to buy Darth Vader from me anyways. So I can afford to buy my buy my passphrase.
Wow.
Yeah, I've got to admit, I mean, I don't know if this would have solved your issue or not, but it's kind of crazy to me that it took Zed this long to get hardware wallet, compatible.
Integration.
I actually had the only horses that I've had frozen on Zed Run were accidentally transferring to a Trazor before I realized that it wasn't compatible. It just seemed a no-brainer to me that you've got, seriously valuable assets sitting there in a browser extension, so that's one of the biggest pieces of news for me recently.
I put on my tinfoil hat here. If I'd made it, I almost made it for the show in case I needed one. But look at the team. Go to LinkedIn sometime and look up Visual Human Studios and look at their team. And then look at the NASCAR drop. I don't think that they have a smart contract writer handling that for them. That to me was a OpenSea template drop, that NASCAR drop. That, you know, that's why they could only sell one at a time. Is they didn't realize that when you list 1,000 of the exact same item on OpenSea using that template, you can only sell one at a time. I know that from experience. I made 1 million of an item for people to be able to buy one of, and had to list individually, and realized, oh no, I screwed up, and abandoned that avenue for it. Well, they stuck with it to get it out because they didn't want to screw up another drop any more than they already had.
Yeah, we'll say drops are not.
But so
special
getting
code.
that integration on the smart contract with a hardware wallet, I don't think was actually in their wheelhouse that early on. I think they've just gotten that part of the team onboarded. And so that's why that's coming, and other wallets will be soon to follow, is because they've started filling out that part. Just like their customer service. You have 130,000 horses. You have 10 customer service agents, you know, and they just recently got to 10. They experienced this exponential growth that they didn't have in their first 2 years. They did not have anywhere near this curve of growth. And so they are scrambling fast, and I have full confidence that they will. When you look at the people they talk to, like for mixed reality, that they're speaking to Kathy Hakel. Kathy Hakel is one of the best in the industry of mixed reality. She's consulted on by every major player out there, Oculus, Magic Leap, those major players. They brought her on board for an advisor on their project, you know, stuff like that. NASCAR did for that integration, and she was on board with the Zed partnership. So the indicators are all there from the professional side, but I don't think they were staffed up to the level of being able to do those types of things yet.
They want to like slow the growth down and for a little bit just so they can catch up. And then probably next quarter, like January, they're going to just put the gas on it. So be ready.
Yeah, 2022 is going to be a huge year for Zed.
I really think
the party
so.
mode, party mode's going to change this game entirely. When you've got private tournaments with your Discord group, your Twitch stream, you know, and you've got 12 people from your Twitch stream all in the same race, and another one queued up that people are ready to go as soon as this one's done, and you're able to just have those selected distances, selected fields, it's going to completely blow up.
Yeah, that'll make it streaming so much better just for us, you know, the content creators.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Well, and the ecosystem, you talk about playing poker. I love going and playing poker with my buddies. But, you know, my buddies are in Atlanta or up in New York or places like that. And so we can't have a physical in-person game. Yeah. And that's completely different. But being able to all log in on a Friday night and just do race after race, and you've got, you know, 10, 15, 20 horses you can throw into races with your buddies. That are, you've got all the distances covered.
That's what makes racing fun, not just racing by yourself, you know, it's like a communal thing, right? Yeah.
And the daily fantasy side of it, as some groups are starting to do now, when you're able to be having a fantasy league where every Sunday we're going to race these horses 5 times, 7 times, things like that at every distance.
Yeah.
And you're going to get points based on that, or however the structures end up being. When you're having that private group for races, it's going to blow this thing up.
UFO nut. I love taking my friends' money. Oh my God. No, but it's about the competition, you know. It's not fun playing by yourself. It's like being an only child, you know, versus having 11 siblings, you know. Like, do you really just, you know, it's that idea that we can all play together and know who's in the race. And yeah, that's the part of Twitch that makes it special.
Absolutely. Love that it just increases and like elevates the community. I
love that they are adding money to the zombie tournament too. Seeing them starting to support the content creators is huge. I hope they keep doing that. You know, like it really demonstrates that they're getting the bigger picture. You know, the vision, the future of what the community itself is like doing, and they're being a part of it.
Absolutely. So where we talked a little bit about 2022 party mode things blowing up, where Where is Zed going? What does the future of Zed look like? What do you want to see in it besides party mode? Bot lady?
I mean,
Song?
it's so here's the thing. It's a game. We all play it like a game, but in the end of the day, it's investing to me. I look at it like assets. So I never forget that. Like it's an asset. So I hope the game is really successful. So the assets are worth something. Like that's the real hope. Like that's why I think everyone that's still involved, even though there's issues, they stay committed because they see the long-term vision, and so do I. So I'm here for the long run.
Love it. Anything you'd like to see added?
Yes, I would like to see a content creator program, or sorry, I didn't answer your question. I would like to see more done with, so like the games that I like to play on Twitch are games that they don't ignore us, the content creators. They are listening to us. They take our feedback. They support us. So Zed has been doing things for me, like sharing my Instagram post, which is so nice. That shows that they care. They're helping. Little things really add up. So for me, that is like encouraging as a content creator, and that's the biggest thing to me, is like, if this game is going to do well, they're going to need to scale that and really like put a content creator program together for the people that really want to make content, because it takes time and money to make the content. It takes they need to understand that. Maybe they should bring in some content creators that are successful, and lead a team of content creators to kind of like understand our side of it, from our point of view too, not just it looks like it's easy and fun, and let me just say, it is not. It is a lot of work. It is fun, but it is not easy. And I like a challenge, so it's great, but not everyone can sit behind the camera for hours and talk and make it fun, and the people that are doing it need support. They really do. I'd like to see them step up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I like that. A lot of the answers that we get are about the platform itself, but I like that you took the angle of like the people behind the platform, the content creators.
We are a
huge.
part
Means a lot.
of, it's like, if they support us, it's showing they support the community as a whole. So it's an opportunity for them to show off how much they love us as a community, right? So if you support the content creators, it trickles down to everybody, and it grows the game bigger than you can imagine, because now it's not just you pushing it and you growing it, it's a whole community of people that are growing a whole community of people. So it's like it ends up being exponential, but I don't think they're ready. That's what we were just talking about. I think they want to slow the growth. So that's what I believe in. That's why it's a long-term thing. I don't think they're quite ready for a content creator program. Yeah, they're like, they already can't keep up with what's going on here. So
A lot of moving pieces for sure.
yeah, I'm excited about the long-term future.
Absolutely.
For me, the thing that I am looking forward to in the game is an onboarding process. A strong onboarding process that, there are a lot of people I'd like to point towards Zed that I don't bother.
Yeah.
The onboarding
Like your grandma
process,
could never,
I don't
like
have
yeah.
the time to walk them through it.
Yeah.
And I know that that's something that they mentioned in their AMA is going to be a focus for them. So I'm looking forward to seeing what format that comes out in. How do you walk someone through MetaMask integration of the new partnership for their network for transferring from ETH to ETH with near gasless, near instant transactions? That will help with the onboarding process, of course, but it's still a process. And then the one thing I look forward to the most for in-game is corners. I cannot wait to see horses get bunched up in a corner.
I understand.
Being able to turn, being able to go around a corner, and being behind, going into the corner and pulling out of a corner with a nice kick and just getting so excited. And yes, oh my God, yes! That kind of feeling. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Oh man, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I've got to admit, I was pretty bummed out that the NASCAR track didn't have a curve. How can you
It kind of does. There's this one spot.
Oh, sorry, an
that,
angle.
like,
Yeah.
There's this one point in the race where it kind of like moves. You're like, whoa! It almost does.
I haven't noticed it.
That would be the opportunity to, start putting some preference on gate selection. If you could give yourself the inside lane on that.
But the inside lane gets crowded. Maybe your horse doesn't run well in a crowded field, and maybe it does better at a more outside lane, and has that nice strong kick. That's the fun of it all, is learning how your horse behaves. That's one of the things that with Darth Talon, she's money in the 1,000. That's her number one distance. She can win in the 1,200 and the 1,400, but I don't know what those look like really yet. I'm still learning her 1,200 and her 1,400 kicks and where those happen and everything. So I still love that part of it.
It's fun. The discovery process. I love the discovery in Zed. It's beautiful. Keeps me going. What about you, Insight? Anything you want to see added or changed? Or...
Man, too much. To be honest, though, like I think like they seem to have it covered. I agree with these guys. It does seem to me that they have the right plans. It's just like they want to get this team onboarded first, make sure everything's, up to scratch before they press all the go buttons. Because I think we sort of all agree that there's a million things that they have planned. Everything looks great, like more classes, more variables are probably the big things for me. It's sort of a relatively simple game as it stands right now. I love the onboarding stuff. I really love the idea of like the token, like a native token with the DES system. Finishing off the drops. Let's just get all these horses out there. Come on, get it over with. I think the only thing that really worries me, and maybe this is a transition back to these guys, is the ELO class system. Like, actually, like BotLady touched on it before, you don't seem to have an issue with them sort of leveling the playing field, but it is a big concern to me because I think that's what they tried to implement with fatigue was to really level things off. And once you killed the value of the top end horses, like the bottom sort of created from the market also. And I think that this ELO based class system, if it's too accurate, if all we're doing is leveling like purely like exactly matched horses, then we're just flipping coins.
I agree.
That worries
when I got
me.
into the game, they didn't have that. So for like me, the min max, like, okay, this guy's making $1 million. Well, everyone wants to be him. So leave it alone. Like, that's good that that's there. Like, we don't want to kill that. That's the dream. In poker, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
One person wins $1 million. Everybody else loses. Okay. Like, you want the dream horse. Like, you want that max at end, top end, or what are we chasing after here? Just running races? No, like that's silly. So I'm 100% with you. I didn't like the change at all. I think fatigue is terrible. I think next time they do a tournament, they should get rid of fatigue for a weekend. That way everyone can race unlimited and its qualifying is over. Boom. Because all this fatigue is crazy. Like I'm having so much trouble qualifying one horse and I'm like, it's driving me insane. So I honestly wish they would just get rid of it altogether. I just think it was the worst update. But they have growing pains and they've got to learn on their own what's their game going to look like. How do they make it fair? That's not up to me. That just is my personal opinion and feedback.
On an ELO system, I think that one of the ways that you might be able to make it work is with a month-long ranking. Similar to the seasons, the way Fortnite does, things like that, where we're going to take your entire month worth of behavior into account for your next month's ranking and classification. And that might be a way to be able to bring in enough of the variables to actually create an ELO that can handle down classing and crap like that being in there. Because like right now, I've done the work on it to figure out that there is no reason for me to leave class 5 with Darth Talon. I've got a down button.
Not everyone does have a down button, right?
Yeah,
so
that's why I said there's no reason for me to leave class 5 with Darth Talon because then I can enter any race from class 5 up.
Right.
So spend the down button and stay in class 5, and I now have class 5, class 4, class 3, 1,000, 1,200, and 1,400 meter races at all those classes to choose from and look through those fields and see where all the heavy dudes racing right now that I can avoid.
Yeah.
And so there's no incentive for me to class up.
Basically, people looking to get into the game need to find a horse like that one, or they don't have a chance to really compete, which is sad. And a lot don't even know how to find it. They don't know what they're looking for. And here's the other kicker. They could change it at any time. So that horse that's really valuable right now, tomorrow, they change the algorithm. And now it's like,
there is no glue.
just sell your horse that you want to make a profit off of. I don't know what to tell you
that
guys.
worries me
Not
as well,
financial
actually.
advice.
Like the whole idea that there is no burn mechanic.
Do your own
Right.
research.
There
But
is
that's
no
my
glue, and
thinking, you
collect as
know?
many legendary bloodlines as you can, because you have 2 Genesis bloodlines locked up right there in that legendary horse, and you can stay above exclusive with all your offspring.
So that's the thing, the market's shaking out. Like, people are realizing they're underselling some things, or other people are overselling some things, and eventually the best players will be looking for these types of horses and buying them really undervalued, racing them, showing the ROI, and selling them for a lot more. There's a huge opportunity there that's completely missed, and I know there's some people that are into racing and that's their focus. That's not mine. But that could be like the way you play the game. But remember, like, we don't know how the racing is gonna be in a year. So like the horses that are super valuable today, we don't know what the market looks like on these in a year. So I mean, like,
Right.
that's the thing about me and poker and everything. Again, do your own research, but timing is everything. You want to buy low, sell high. That's just the thing with like anything. So if you have something and you need liquidity and you can sell it for a lot and you're not sure, is this going to be worth a lot in the long run, or you could just hold it and hope. Like, everybody has a different way that they're doing things. So me personally, I'm not going to give you guys advice. I'm not playing the game like everybody else. There's more than one game you can play and choose. But if you're not taking all the statistics, you're not using all the tools, you're not doing the research, you're not watching people like DarthSide that memorize the algorithm, you're missing all the information that's available. You're going to miss some of the profit that's left out there because you're just like not looking at it. You're not looking at the big picture.
So DarthSide brought up a good point, I think, about like locking up legendaries, and BotLady brought up a great point about timing. So let's put both of those things together and let's give away a legendary horse, courtesy of
exciting.
Lucky Jack and
What?
Pony Plug.
No
So
way.
for those of you that are
Wow.
here, speaking
Who's
of
excited?
timing,
Legends.
great timing, completely unannounced, little secret in for you. Yes, this is going to be it is named Grayscale on OpenSea. It's listed as unnamed full, but it is a Z15 Buterin Legendary Colt, color of Shadow Fighter.
Ooh.
Nice.
So we will be starting a raffle right now, 3 minutes long, in honor of Lucky Jack for his generous donation. The command will be !LJ, and we are starting that right now. 3 minutes on the clock. Let's get it going. Get those commands in chat. I hope I did this right. I had to log into like 7 different things because this is not my main account. So, all right, it looks like it's going. Yeah, we got people in. Rourke is in, Glues in, Golden Clothes in. All right, good. Fantastic.
I got to give Lucky Jack and Pony Plug some credit for making me breed and race because of their stream. So they have that Friday night stream where you can it's just a party, and they just added a Wednesday night stream where they have a wheel. So much fun. I love that one. And then on Tuesday they do the duels, and they put on a good show over there. And Jack, I just bought 42 horses from Jack. So I got to give him credit. We did a bulk deal, and the horses oh my gosh, they're so good. I'm so in love with them. Now that he's starting to race like some of their parents, I'm even more excited. So
let's go. That's super exciting. Super exciting.
Yeah, you guys got to check out their stream for sure if you haven't.
Great stream. Great content,
you
great
mentioned
people.
timing. One of the timing things that I would like to point out right now is the Melbourne Cup.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
So for those of us in the States, we may not be aware of how big of a deal this is to Australia. Comparisons would be the Super Bowl or the Soccer World Cup.
Okay.
That's how important this tournament is, this racing event is in Australia. The people that will be at this event in person, in the pigeon cage or whatever they call it, the people with money,
right,
that will be at this event, that have horses in real life and things like that will be there and will get exposed to Zed, or their teenage to young adult children will get exposed to Zed next week in just a few days. So you talk about timing. There's a conflux of events that's about to happen here with their marketing, with an in real life event that's going to bring an influx of money into Zed, in my opinion.
It's definitely
I
the right
believe
crowd.
that these are money levels that will be investing in Genesis.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to see Buterins fly because of these people. You're going to see Zabos. You're going to see Finnies. You're going to see some Nakamotos fly because of these new blood that are coming in. If you look at the marketing being done by the VRC, the Victoria Racing Club, for this event, the integration with ZHQ in Decentraland.
Yeah, that's cool.
You have a conflux of events that's going to happen next week. Do your own research, do with that information what you will.
7
But
seconds
that's
left
what's
on the
going to
raffle.
happen. Nice. Good luck.
I love where you're thinking though, because you're looking at a macro point of view, and that's what you really need to look at for the like indicators for, you know, we all get so caught up sometimes in like all the details and racing and, you know, that we forget in the big picture.
Well, and where are these things promoted? You know, I had to track down NASCAR's video. That wasn't really promoted.
It'll get better. It'll get better.
It will. But the VRC, this is homepage on them.
Yeah.
You know, this is something they're heavily doing. Okay.
Yeah, if it actually gets promoted on the stream, it will be huge, because I don't think it is a day off in Australia, but it may as well be. Like, you go to the office, but only to get drunk and gamble. You know, it is it is well and truly like a big national party. And I think, they probably, someone said in stream that it's all virtual because of lockdown, which could be the case. So
even better for us.
It could be even better. You're right. If they are putting stuff
they're
like that
hosting
on the
the party at ZHQ.
Yeah, it
How
could be,
cool is that?
Could be a big
They're going to have a carnival and everything.
I'm looking forward to this
I
weekend.
can't wait. I cannot wait at all. Let's pick that winner.
Good luck.
All right, Z15 Legendary Buterin, courtesy of Lucky Jack. We had 37 entrants, so your odds of getting this are amazing.
A Z15? Wow.
Yeah. Here we go. Let's get some hype in chat. Let's get some emotes in chat. We're going to pick this winner in... Ryan Temple says it's a scheduled sick day. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slug Dome. Congrats to Slug Dome on the big dub. Love the emotes in chat. Love the hype in chat. Slug Dome. If you could just shoot me a message on either Twitter, MJ_Stables, or send me a message here, just at MJ Stables, no underscore. I will get Slug Dome, or get the horse, Grayscale, over to you right after the stream. Congratulations.
That horse is going to be a beast. That's a jack horse?
Yeah, Slug Dome, are you here?
Yeah.
Oh, Slug Dome is here. Awesome. Yes, good. Slug Dome, how big is your stable? Yeah, it is going to be a beast, right? A lucky jack horse?
I just bought 42, so I raced them all, and they're like flaming. Jack, you're the best. Thank you.
So, any superstitions either of you have when it comes to Zed?
I have a gate preference.
What is that? And is that per horse or just in general?
Just for the horses. 7 and 10 are the two gates that I tend to go for first. I don't like it when I don't get those gates. So if you want to keep me out of your race, try and get 7 and 10 filled to keep Darth Talon out.
That's good advice. So I was a blackjack dealer, poker dealer, and I seen so many different weird, cool, amazing, strange superstitions in my life. And I personally, I'm not superstitious whatsoever. I just think positive thoughts, like everything's gonna be great. I don't think like anytime, like if I do that, I'm just like, don't fuck it up. That's what I'm like, just don't fuck it up. How many times have I fucked it up?
Everyone's going to at some point. That's okay.
But lady, do any of your horses have a social media account? They
don't. You know what? I have like 20 social media accounts already. So I just, I kind of like, I don't have any more free time. So like, I manage so much I do 30 jobs. I do everything myself. I don't have like an assistant. I don't have an editor. You know, I make all the content myself, and it's a lot. I make it for more than one platform, and it's a full-time job and a half. So
yeah.
yeah, I'm here working hard for you guys.
So speaking of all that kind of effort that goes into things, want to throw your link tree in chat just so
Sure.
everyone can be sure to follow you in all those different places that you are. And then you had sent some links over earlier about an NFT project. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so I'm admin for RocketBot, and if you guys don't know what RocketBot is, the automated giveaway airdrop platform for Twitch, Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. And so I can airdrop money to you guys anywhere. So basically, one of their artists I collabed with, and he's creating rocket bots, which get you into a raffle, which is kind of like a giveaway. And on top of it, some of them are guaranteeing like some coin back. The one I sold included some merch with it, and then we have a second drop that we just did 2 days ago. I bought two, one for myself and one to give away. So there's a link for that. I'm giving one away. It's like a $30 value. It's a beer can, and it's got Cherry 2000 art inspired. So it's my head on Meg Ryan's body, like holding a giant like rocket launcher, and it's from the movie Cherry 2000. Go watch this movie. It's from 1987. It's like an old sci-fi movie about robots. Anyway, it's really interesting, and so the art is inspired by that. And basically, I'm going to draw a winner. I'm going to give one away on October 30th, 11 p.m. from this tweet. So retweet, I'll draw one winner from the tweet, and then go like it on OpenSea. Hit the heart, please, to get it trending. If you want to buy one, when I sell all out, we're going to drop. I think I'm going to give away some merch. I haven't said specifically what yet, but probably a beanie and a hoodie from my store. And then 25% of all of my NFT sales will always go to NAMI.org. Mental health awareness, you guys, there's always someone, if I'm not available or someone in the community to talk to, 24/7 to text or call, because I know a lot of you guys feel alone, and the reason I started the stream was so no one ever had to feel alone again. I lost my first husband to suicide, and this is very close to my heart. So you guys want to support NAMI, you want to support artists, you want to support RocketBot, you want to support BotLady, you want some BotLady merch, you want to get involved, please go buy a beer can. They're $30 and some change.
And the NAMI link is in chat, as well as the Twitter post that I have up right now. So definitely please go check those both out. If you're not already, give BotLady a follow. The link tree's there. The Twitter page is right there. Easy. Just a simple click.
Thank you.
And then DarthSide. I want to circle back to you and your project. We talked about Van Goatee a little bit. I'll throw that link back in chat. But any other things you want to talk about?
So that Human Anatomy Project is my charity that I work with. I lost my stepmom to cancer 3 years ago, and they told me they couldn't see the cancer that killed her on a CT scan. That made no sense to me. So I researched it, traced the technology all the way back to Nikola Tesla, then worked my way through the pipeline, figured out where the problem was, and I fixed it.
That's so interesting.
So I created a new data structure for CT scan data that at the very bare minimum should enable people that can't use contrasting agents to still get CT scans and get evaluations done. But at the far end of what this makes possible is this is the mathematical pathway to the Star Trek sickbay bed. So when you think of the Human Genome Project and then the Human Cell Atlas, we now have the Human Anatomy Project, which is combining large sets of identified CT scan data sets into a huge database and allowing a neural network to crawl through those data sets and then to do a comparison between your data structure and these known databases and spit out probabilities of like comparison. So you did a 60% data match to this data set. This data set had this disorder. So it's not going to diagnose you with something, but it will flag something for the radiologist or the physician to be investigating further. And it's unbelievable the things that we can do with this now. So it's been a very rewarding journey, and there's a lot of really cool people involved in this.
And part of your Van Goatee is tied to that as well, correct?
Yeah, like I said, the Van Goatee art project of what I'm doing is just all a precursor to funding rewards that will be donated to the Human Anatomy Project for their donors. Their donors will end up receiving Van Gogh tees from the 10,000 piece collection. And there will be a wall with actual the artwork actually displayed, an interactive wall. So some really cool stuff coming down the road for this project. The first study that we've been asked to look at with ours is actually Hodgkin's lymphoma data sets. So it's really exciting to see what can come from this.
Very, very exciting.
I looked at what he's talking about, the scans and everything, and like it's so interesting. The technology is there. It's just not like, is it hard to get a scan? Can you tell us about that? Like how, if someone wanted one?
Well, no. So right now, my first barrier to entry will be getting peer reviews and the actual study specific use case studies, because this technology is applicable to any field of medicine that uses CT scan, and it's backwards compatible to every scan that's been done throughout history. It was specifically part of my design. So the first is isolating where is the best value, and then it's getting the white paper for that specific study written, the doctors doing the actual work into the data. When you work with the data in this way, there's things that just jump out at you. If you watch that video that he's showing right there, you'll actually get to see the process as it happens a little ways in. You'll see as I filter out.
Imagine a person you know.
I don't want to see. Yeah, you might want to mute it. But if you just scroll into the video a little ways, you'll see some of the imagery.
Who's diagnosed?
There's not too much in there, but things just start jumping out at you when you get into individual values. One of the other things that's going on here is when you get a CT scan, a radiologist sets a specific window of Hounsfield units that they want to see. A very typical window is, say, 4,000 Hounsfield units. That is scrunched into the 256 shades of gray for the human eye to be able to see. So you have an 8-to-1 data loss ratio that goes into putting it into grayscale. And then the human eye can only discern about 30 shades of gray out of those 256 shades of gray. A highly trained radiologist might be able to go all the way up to 50 shades of gray, but that's a completely different topic. The 30 shades of gray from 256, we have in effect another 8-to-1 data loss ratio, getting it into the range the human eye can evaluate. So we've gone and had overall, in effect, a 64-to-1 data loss ratio from the initial acquired data by the machine to the rendering for the human eye. And it's not a knock on the radiologist. They're doing the best with the information they've been giving. Up until about 3 years ago, this level of neural network processing would not have been this available. But now it is, and now we can structure things for 3D for the computers to work on. Up until this point, they've mainly been using image recognition algorithms to do the CT scan. So again, you're working from grayscale values and garbage in, garbage out. When we drill down into those individual Hounsfield units, for example, urine pegs in between -5 to +15 on the Hounsfield scale. That's 20 individual whole number values. You scrunch those into the 256 shades of gray at that 8-to-1 data loss, and we now have 3 shades of gray. And then you scrunch that into what the human eye can see, and that's part of 1 shade of gray. But I believe there's value in knowing where the concentrations of -5 and +15 are, and I can now show that. And that's some of the innovations that are now possible because of this new data structure.
So eventually,
we just got our 513C standing last week. I can render out structures as small as a human hair.
Whoa.
So it's pretty exciting.
It's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Eventually, we may all be going in to get one of these done, in 5 years.
You'll go get an annual CT scan done, and I can do volumetric measurements. So rather than where the current technology, they draw a line on a single slice from one point to another and label that as the diameter of the object of interest, the volume of interest. I can actually bring in a cube and say, in this cube, I have this much of this value and this much of this value. And then you come in for another scan 6 months down the road, and I can overlay those on top of each other. I can tell you the rate of change between one zone to another. So the efficacy of the treatment should be visible at that point. There's just a lot of different things that having a volumetric data set enables.
So you're catching things 10 years before you might have in the past, or you don't know.
I can't say that.
Of course, obviously that's person to person,
I believe
but you
this should be possible.
Yeah, you could see it a lot sooner when it's tiny instead of waiting till it's huge. With the technology we have now, it sounds like you can pinpoint it down to every little thing going on inside you. It's incredible. I mean,
I can show them what they're interested in and filter out what they don't want to see. I can get rid of noise in ways they're not able to right now. And I can look at the model in full 3D, rotate it, zoom in, zoom out, things that aren't feature sets of current CT scan standard software. So it will be a long journey, and I've just started it. But my goal is that with the machine learning algorithms we're developing, that eventually when you go in for your CT scan, it will find things at an earlier stage and be able to flag you based on, okay, we showed it 1,000 dogs and it now flagged this new scan and said, this isn't a dog, but I think it's got a lot in common with a dog. And we look at it and we say, yeah, that's a puppy. You know, that version of translation between a disorder, a disease, a cancer, and what the early stage version of that is due to the probabilities of the structures involved.
We're not using all the data available to us, it sounds like, and you found a way to kind of filter it and make it usable.
Without limiting the radiologist or eliminating them.
Yeah.
That's big. That's huge.
Amazing.
Thank you.
The other thing you sent over was stable swag.
Yeah, thanks to the guys at Retro, they've set up stable swag. So for anybody that's out there that has a stable and would like to see your logo on some merch, get in touch with Retro and they will get your logo from you. And you see all these great stables that have thrown up their stuff. I mean, personally, I'm biased, but I think I have the best looking logo up there. But they will set it up for you. They aren't about taking a big profit, but they've already done all the research into which ones of the hoodies are nice and soft, which one of the hats are good hats and form well and don't look like crap, and what's the process, what's the structure. So they'll work with you and set up a swag shop for you. So yeah, definitely thanks to Retro Racing. They even do promos. They've given away merch for me to their followers. So definitely want to throw a big shout out to Retro.
Very cool. Great service. That link is in chat as well. Before we wrap up for the evening, is there anything that any of you want to touch on? Any other questions you have, ZedInsight?
No, I think I'm good.
In the future, I'd like to maybe do a segment on my stream where I feature women in Zed, like their stables, and like maybe have them on for like half an hour to talk. And that's something I'd like to do. So if you guys know any women that would be interested, I have 0 people that have contacted me so far. You'd be the first. All right. Seriously though, I'm thinking like planning next year. So I want to start like getting interest now. And if there are any women that I would like to feature women specifically on my stream that would be interested in just hopping on for a little bit. We could pre-record the content. We could do it live. We could do voice. We could do video. I really want to do whatever they're comfortable with. If they don't even want to get on, I could just feature their stable and talk about it without even them, if they're not comfortable with the camera. Whatever's that person, I want to make them feel comfortable. So however you want to be highlighted, I want to make that happen.
Definitely.
I have a few females in Zed that I did a giveaway for females of Zed a month ago, I think it was. So I'll look back through and get you a list of names of people that responded to my giveaway for that.
Cool. Yeah, for sure. I just want to put a spotlight, like we're part of the economy. We exist. I think a lot of times women don't like the spotlight because there's some negativity that comes with it. I've experienced myself. And I want to give the women of Zed a safe place to come share their stories and their stables.
That's a very cool idea.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Yep.
Very cool. All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Appreciate you all stopping in tonight. Congrats to
Appreciate you.
Spork Dome. Thank you to BotLady, DarthSide, and ZedInsights for our show tonight, episode 7.
Before we go, can you give away a Van Goatee?
I would love to.
Whoa.
Absolutely. Let's
Let's
go.
do it.
Giveaway number 2.
Cool.
Chat, if you didn't
Um,
leave because you thought it was over, you're the lucky ones. You're the
Yeah,
loyal
right?
ones.
Yeah,
You're getting the extra
you know me. I
bit.
love to reward the followers. Sometimes I give away one to your stream's longest follower or something like that. Just a
Give
quick
me-
about this, you guys. Remember, I'm not really releasing the Van Goatee originals and Van Goatee version 2s for profit. I'm doing it mostly for the experience, for doing this for the charity down the road and what's the proper way. But because of the support from the community, there will definitely always be rewards going on for VGO holders and Van Goatee version 2 holders as this goes down the road, whether that's if you want to resell in the gallery or you want to show off in the gallery, or the fact that you get free airdrops for holding. There will always be return value to you guys for the support of helping me get this off the ground. So thank you to everybody that's holding one now, and for the fact that none of you have sold the ones that you've gotten, even if you won it in a raffle or a giveaway on a stream or something like that. Nobody has resold. Nobody has listed below floor. So thank you to everybody. It's meant the world, the support from you guys.
The people that get them, it's not a. I see so many people get into NFTs like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna flip it right away. Like, no, there's genuine passion and like, I want this. This looks cool. I get it because I like it. I'm not interested in a flip and a turn and whatever. Like, no, like this is cool to me. Like, this is something that I love and I want to keep and hold on to because I enjoy it.
And like I said, the
that's really
magic
cool.
number to hold for a special version 2 reward is 6. Because version 2 is about 6-sided cubes with Van Goatees.
I'm excited about the cubes. I want a
I'm
cube.
excited about the cube.
So basically, you will be assembling the 6 image frames that I pull from the video. And when you've managed to collect all 6, you'll be able to burn those 6 images. You'll get a cube, and inside the cube is the link to your video. And so no one else will be able to see your video unless you choose to share it of your Van Goatee. Because right now you can go to the Van Goatee original collection and you can look at any Van Goatee out there. Unless it's been burned, you can look at them. But Van Goatee version 2s, you'll only have still pictures unless you assemble a cube. And if you assemble a cube, you will be able to have the video of how the AI built that specific
So
collection.
interesting.
That's so cool.
So there'll be trading aspects, because I won't launch all of them at one time either. They'll be launched in sets for you to be able to trade and collect to build your cube. And so, I'm looking for cube 6-3. I'm waiting for cube 6-3, frame 3, and then I'll be ready to mint. Kind of aspect. There will be a white paper that explains all this. There will eventually be a Discord to let people share their collections and to share their videos if they want.
That's
so
awesome.
there is a long roadmap. I'm just so busy I haven't gotten to get it all down on paper, and I haven't gotten 100% agreement from my Discord mod that he's willing to do all the work with it. But
they're so good looking. Can we look at one before we?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll pull this up. The command for the giveaway will be 3 minutes. Will be ! DarthSide, just like you see it up on the screen in chat. We'll definitely pop through some of these. I'm just gonna get this started quick, and then all right, it is live and now, and I will share screen. We can take a look, and these are all AI generated off of a seed phrase. That's correct. Am I describing that correctly?
So it's a combination of a seed phrase that I give it, and that seed phrase might be a couple of words. It might be a couple of pairs of words. It might be a paragraph. But it's whatever I had to add to create these worlds, these images that it creates in a repeatable fashion, so that I can rerun it with a different random number added to it. And that random number is 18 to 20 digits long and is only used for that one occurrence, that one unique one, and then it's burned. Now the 10,000 piece collection all come from different seed phrases, but the same unique random generated number. So there's different ways that I tie these collections together. These ones, it's random numbers to the same seed phrase with specific parameters tied in, like how many iterations do I want it to take? How many steps do I want it to go through before I say you're done? And then how many frames do I want it to put into the video per second to create the transition effects? So how long is the video? Some of the Van Goatee originals are only 15 seconds. Some of them are as full as a minute. So there's different levels of rarity there. In the Van Goatee originals, there are 5 different themed phrase topics with 20 images per prior to the burn. I think there's 79 left that haven't been burned. I burn one from each collection every Friday.
Oh, that's cool.
So Novus Earth is sold out. The Magica World series is sold out. I think your favorite is the Mysterious World, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. MJ.
Oh yeah, got one of those. But yeah, I think it's so cool. Like it starts out as this or near this, and then it turns into this. Like that's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
And then the Van Goatee version 2s, one of the things that I've done there is I have 50 different cities that I have for Novus Earth. These will be New York, this will be Paris, this will be Berlin. This will be major capitals and major locations of racing that these are my favorite images that the system has done yet. They're very similar to the Novus Earth series, but so much more city and vibrant and futuristic city. I have a real passion for the neon colors coming through in this stuff and tying it back into Zed. I also have some series that are based on the most famous racetracks in horse racing, whether that's Churchill Downs or that's Ascot or Royal Ascot, or Australia.
Interesting.
So all sorts of really fun stuff. And then the ones that are done for the charity, the large collection, are all fantasy world designed by. And then I have major historical figures. One of the collections that was given to me for names to do that on was 100 famous women through history. And so I include them and the year of their date and their birth into the seed phrase. And this stuff all comes out in amazing ways. Another part of that collection is I took the word God and I put it into Google Translate, into every language Google Translate had. And so I did a fantasy world designed by God with all these different words. And the visual distinction that comes through in the imagery, that I may not have known what this language was, but I can tell you what continent this language is from because of the artwork and the flavor that comes through from the AI. It's just amazing what it does.
Very, very cool. I showed or copied the link from this specific one in chat if you wanted to check it out. But let's get some hype in chat. You know the drill. Let's get this Van Goatee original
Good luck.
OG Series 1 out right now. Super excited on that. Sorry, Hale, just a little late on that. There we go. Ryan Temple kicking us off. AC Wolf, let's go. All right, picking our winner in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mango Ice with the dub. Congrats,
Nice.
Mango
Woo!
Ice.
Get it, man.
Congrats.
Let's go. So send a message to you, DarthSide.
Yeah, just DM me an address right there on Twitch.
Also, I want to point out
or
the price
Twitter
of these
at Mixed Reality Man.
is 0.05, and it's on Polygon, so you don't
Yeah,
have to pay gas.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no gas.
So huge win to Mango Ice. Congratulations. Congrats as well to Slug Dome on winning the horse from Lucky Jack. Thank you so much to co-host ZedInsights and our guest tonight, BotLady and DarthSide.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
for
you so
having us.
much.
Guys.
We'll see you all next week with episode 18.